I've been asked on many occasions to share my recipe for scones, so here it is. Now, the brand of flour I like is King Arthur. It has a protein content of 11.7% by weight. That makes a difference in your baked goods. I use normal white sugar. Any brand will do. Notice that I'm generous with my tablespoon amounts. I prefer this brand of baking powder because it's aluminum free. And the salt I like to use is kosher salt. No additives in kosher salt. And I use the whisk just to combine the ingredients. Next is a box grater here. I'm using the large holes, and I'm going to grate coconut oil. This coconut oil has been weighed ahead of time and kept in the refrigerator so that it's nice and firm for grating. And of course the fruit. I like mango in all my goods. And I thought I'd make blueberry today. Then I thought about it. And I said, nah. Let's use cherry instead. Now I'm taking out an amount of fruit that I think is right for the scones, and I realize that I have never weighed the fruit and nuts out. I just eyeball it. I'll let you know how much I'm using in a moment. Walnuts I keep in the freezer to keep them fresh. And I pull up my trusty scale. Make sure to tare it. And I find I'm using 5 ounces of each of the fruits. If you use a little more, that's fine. And 3 ounces for the walnuts. Next is chopping the fruit, and that's not an easy task. It takes a little horsepower, especially the mango. It can be a little tough. So tough, I decided to put it in the microwave for just 10 seconds, and that makes it much easier to slice. I find it's important to slice the cherries, not only to make the fruit smaller, but you're looking for any pits that may have found their way through the cleaning process. I like to hand toss my ingredients together before I add any liquid. And any brand of fresh whole milk. I'm showing myself stirring this together in real time to give you a sense of how quick it comes together and how little agitation it needs. Now I'm leaning into it a little bit, squeezing it, pushing it down to the bottom to get up those dry ingredients. And I keep rubbing it alongside the bowl. Rub the inside of the bowl, make sure you get all the dry stuff up. And push it down like Play-Doh. And as soon as it holds itself together, it's done. You know, I need that other hand. Where'd that other glove go? There it is. Next, we have to form it into a log so we can split it into 16 equal pieces. And I'm gently squeezing to make sure there's no hollow spaces inside of the log. Gently rolling it to try to get the size even all the way along its length. And it takes a little bit of time. Also, make sure to push those ends in a little bit because the ends are rounded. We want to make them more square. And now I like to split it with a cleaver. Just cut through the dough. Notice I'm cutting it in half, then the halves in half. And the halves in half again. And halve it down the middle. If the pieces aren't exactly equal, that's not a problem. This is very rustic. It's going to cook fine whether they're on the small side or large size. And you see me flattening them down. Each piece gets flattened a bit. I like to cook my goods on stoneware. Now I'm squaring up the sides just a little bit because I'm going to really crowd them onto this pan. All 16 pieces on one cookie sheet. I push them down on the pan so they don't slide off. There they are. Ready to transport without falling off. Going into a very hot 425 degree Fahrenheit oven. "17 minutes. And I time these carefully. 30 seconds one way or the other, and you'll notice a difference. There they come, slightly browned on the edges. And I take them right off the cookie sheet. I don't let them cool at all. And you'll notice these scones are lightly browned on the outside, especially the outside edges, but yet tender and chewy on the inside. And that's how I make my scones.